Well, as a council member, my role in the ministry is to support those individuals such as Jerry and Partners in Action that get involved in the community. I'm big on faith. Everything I do is based on faith. When you can develop a public-private partnership with organizations like Partners in Action, the only benefactors to that are our community. That's our youth and our veterans, our senior citizens. But my role is to support them, to get people to come on board and believe in what they're doing for our children and continue the programs that they're bringing to our community. But my role is to continue to support them. The heartbeat for me, I don't belong to the organization, but as a council member from the outside working with them on the inside, the heartbeat is to bring those programs to children and to our community that otherwise would not have them. When the city of Glendale several years ago lost a lot of financial ability to maintain our centers, Partners in Action came in and brought those programs. So their heartbeat is to regenerate a community, and they're doing that right now. They do quite a bit for our community. Had they not been here, it just wouldn't happen. That building would be vacant. Now, that building is not vacant. It's being used from the AM to the PM, and we want to open it even further for children. Well, the Lord comes into your heart. In my belief, the Lord comes into your heart and you don't even know it. You just have to accept Him and believe in Him. And that's what Partners in Action does. They believe in these children. When these children don't know or don't understand that this organization, as kids would say on the street, have their back. And the ministry provides Jerry and his organization the ability to mentor these children, lead them, direct them, and put them in the right direction in what they're doing in their life. That all comes from faith and believing in the Lord. I have a strong background in believing in faith and making sure that guides everything you do. People, when for example, this demographics in the community I serve have a lot of children who are growing up with single parents and or growing up with their grandparents, not their parents, and are absent of the faith and absent of ministry. And when you can get organizations that come in like Partners in Action and bring that back and resurrect that, that is what our children need. And even our adults, some of our adults are so busy raising children that they don't have time for the ministry. And it's important that we always revert back to that. When we feel empty and we feel dark, that we revert back to the Lord. And I feel that's really important. No public-private partnership such as the one that City of Glendale, my office, has with Partner in Action could be successful without engaging and entrenching yourself in the community. And that's exactly what Partners in Action did. When they came, they said, we're not going to be here and not be successful. All we believe in is success. And the only way we can do that is by bringing in those who have been in the community for many years. So we have generational families here. What Jerry and Partners in Action did is when they needed to hire on folks, they hired them from within the community. You have people who are serving Partners in Action in this community at the front desk when you come in to the building that live next door, across the street, or from that community. If you can do that, there's no way you can not be successful. And for an organization such as this one to come in and be entrenched, I'll tell you, we're successful for many, many years. So I'm really proud that Partners in Action was able to hire within the community and not from outside in. While we have some individuals that don't live in the community, that too is important. They bring a much more diversified feel to the organization. Organizations like this can't be successful without your support. And you can contact Partners in Action by getting with Jerry, and he can walk you through the process of supporting them financially, which is very, very important. If you can't be financially stable, then it's very difficult to provide the programs that Partners in Action does for our community, for our children. But you can also just come out to the center and support the programs by being there, by bringing children and by being involved and being an advocate and being a ambassador for the program. And that's what I do as a council member. I'm an ambassador for everything good that PIA does. And I got to tell you, it's quite a bit. But financial support, spiritual support, and physically being there supporting the programs. My family's been in this downtown in Glendale for 100 plus years. I'm a fourth generation child of a single parent who worked in a restaurant all of her life. She didn't receive a check, she received cash, and it was either $80 or $110. She had a lot of faith, but not a lot of money. And I grew up with roots in this community. Mother always believed that if you can't help your community, if you can't reach out and just embrace your community, then you need to really check yourself and what you're doing. And I've taken what Mom has taught me to come out and do what I do today. Mother passed away, she died of cancer. She left her children with a lot of faith in the Lord, and when we can't get things done in the community, I just sit back and remember what she's taught us. But that's why I do what I do. Mother served the community, Mother served the church. She'd give anything off her back to give to others, and that's what I want to do for our community. I like for others to follow the lead of what Partners in Action is doing. They come into a community that's one, impoverished, a community that has a lot of culture. Some folks ask me, why do you serve on council? It's a lot of work, it's a lot of time away from the family. And sometimes I step back and I explained earlier that it was Mom's drive and her segue of doing what we do. But a lot of times, really, it's just the Lord telling me to go left and telling me to go right. Before I was a council member, I was and I still am, a school board member. Never felt I would be a council member, but he asked me to do it, and I answered the call, and I don't know what I'll do next, but he does. But it's important that folks keep faith in the Lord, because I'll tell you, the decisions you make, he helps you make them. You just have to open up your ears, open up your eyes, and he'll guide you there. I want people to understand that a community can't thrive unless we all work together. We have to be a one community. We can't be a separated and divided community. And we can unite and help organizations like Partners in Action. I think it'd be a great partnership. And important to me as a council member is creating and supporting and developing public-private partnerships. And that's simply what we did with Partners in Action. When I met Jerry at this toy drive, he and I had some lengthy conversations and daily conversations about how we can partner in my office with the city. We ended up developing a partnership that allows Partners in Action to be in the community center here in downtown. I spoke to it earlier. But as a result of that, Jerry and I have partnered to create a roundtable with community members and other pastors and other resources out in the community to develop this coordination of how we can continue to bring resources here. And as a result of that, we developed a relationship, an ongoing relationship from Partners in Action, new to me, with the Fiesta Bowl. And we were able to receive a grant for $100,000. And a lot of that went directly to the facility. And if you walk into the facility now, you'll see new carpet, you'll see new paint, you'll see new ceiling tiles, you'll see some great improvements that we may have not as a city brought that to the building. And as a result of that coordination, we are now working with Solid Rock. It's a Alice Cooper Foundation. Alice Cooper is a longtime Arizona, Phoenix resident, very successful entertainer, and now a businessman in downtown Phoenix. We're working with that organization, again, to develop a public-private relationship to bring more funding and more resources to not only Partners in Action, but to the community. And that's why it's important that we sit down in these round tables that Jerry has asked me to spearhead as the community leader here. And it was not only a pleasure, but it was a privilege to be called on. And I want to continue to be at that round table and bring other people to have a seat at the table. But it's been really refreshing and great to be part of that.
Hi, I'm Pastor Chuck Reish. I'm the executive producer at Horizon Media Studios. It's a 501c3 media ministry, and what we're doing is helping other ministries tell their story. Homeless shelters and children's homes, Bible colleges, seminaries, mission-sending agencies. With your help, we can continue to help tell their story, to inspire the world, to shine their light, and let God get the glory for the work that's being done in advancing the kingdom of Jesus Christ. Thanks again for praying for us.